ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 5 of the Villain Arc. A lot of things to talk about. I have my list of subjects right here, and it's quite long. It's probably going to be the longest episode, but it's good. A lot of stuff to talk about. We're coming off of the Royal Rumble, incredible event. Lots of unexpected stuff, some big news in the world of professional wrestling. It's quite interesting, so I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump straight into it. Quick reminder, this podcast is also available on Spotify for all of you guys. Okay, if you want to watch a little bit of if you want to listen to a little bit of Villain Arc when you're on the road, when you're working on something else, or to help you fall asleep if you think my podcast is boring, it's all up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's not waste any time and get straight into it. First of all, our pretty big news, okay? Before getting the news, actually, I just want to go off of the Royal Rumble, okay? Quick reminder of the results in case you missed it or you don't know about it or whatever. The first match of the night was the Women's Royal Rumble. It was won by Bayley, who last eliminated a returning Liv Morgan, which we'll be talking about very soon. Second match, Roman Reigns returned the undisputed WWE Universal Championship in a fatal four-way match, defeating AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Randy Orton. Then Logan Paul retained the United States Championship over Kevin Owens by disqualification after Owens got disqualified. And then finally, Cody Rhodes won the Men's Royal Rumble twice. Okay, back to back, he won 2023, now won 2024 by last eliminating CM Punk. Okay, now that we know the results, everybody is set for it. Let's talk about CM Punk. CM Punk, runner-up in the Royal Rumble match. He was the heavy favorite going into this match. I talked to a lot of people. A lot of people were predicting CM Punk to win. With all the rumors of him going after Seth Rollins for WrestleMania 40, going after the World Heavyweight Championship. Unfortunately, we learned very recently that CM Punk was injured during this match. He tore his right triceps in the match, which brings some very bad news. Okay, how it happened, I don't exactly know, but it was apparently at the hands of Drew McIntyre after a DDT, which like not tore it completely, but did some damage to it. And then when Rhodes eliminated CM Punk, when he threw him over the top rope, it tore it completely. The news broke out, and the rumor stated that the rehab and all the surgeries and everything would mean that he would be absent for at least 4 to 6 months. And last night on Monday Night Raw, as I'm recording this, we're on Tuesday. From last night's Monday Night Raw, we learned that CM Punk was in fact not going to be at WrestleMania, that he was going to miss this year's event. So that means that WWE has to find a new plan for Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. As you may know, Seth Rollins is also injured. Okay, that makes a lot of people injured, and the list is not over. But yeah, so they have to find a new contender for Seth freaking Rollins for WrestleMania. It's kind of sad. Okay, the promo was very, heartfelt from CM Punk. You could actually feel his pain, but he said that it was okay, that he wanted to main event WrestleMania, but that didn't necessarily mean WrestleMania 40. It could be WrestleMania 41. And I like to believe that he will main event WrestleMania 41, probably win the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble. But nothing is confirmed. We don't know what's going to happen. The only thing that is confirmed is that CM Punk will not be at this year's Showcase of the Immortals. During his promo, CM Punk was interrupted by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, with absolutely no remorse, he insulted Punk. He said that he was happy he injured him. He lashed out at him. And then Punk said that when he comes back, he's going to want to go after a world championship and headline WrestleMania. But his first step into his journey will be to take out Drew McIntyre, which is very nice. So depending on how long it takes for CM Punk to come back, we might get to see a CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre match, possibly at SummerSlam. This would, according to the timeline, it would make it would be fine, SummerSlam is in like 7 months, a little bit less. So it gives CM Punk time to, to get back in shape. And Punk versus McIntyre is a very interesting match and would be great for SummerSlam. So yeah, bad news for CM Punk, but we should see him back before the end of the year. and he's going to be back very soon getting his big matches and his big pops. Don't even worry about that. Next up, we're going to be talking about the winner of the Royal Rumble, Cody Rhodes. As soon as Cody Rhodes won the match, he pointed to the WrestleMania sign, but he also pointed to Roman Reigns because both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were in attendance in like private sections to watch the men's Royal Rumble match. And when Cody Rhodes won it, he pointed over at Roman Reigns, signifying that he was going after Roman Reigns and his undisputed WWE Universal Championship. However, last night on Raw, Cody Rhodes had a promo, celebrating his Royal Rumble victory, blah, blah, blah. And he was interrupted by the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. I was watching it live, okay, with my father. And when we saw it happen, when we heard Seth Rollins' theme song, we looked at each other like, what? What is going on? And yeah, Rhodes confused as well. Everybody confused, obviously. Why is Seth Rollins there? Rollins comes into the ring and starts explaining that he doesn't want Cody to challenge Reigns at WrestleMania. He wants Cody to challenge him. Which changes a lot of plans, but it's quite interesting, and let me explain, okay? Rollins explained that Reigns' title was not a worthy title, Reigns wasn't there, not defending the championship. He only appears at, one SmackDown per month. He's there at 1 out of 3 premium live events, blah, blah. But that Seth Rollins' championship is the workhorse championship, the title that everybody wants, the blue collar championship. He basically said that it was the Dusty Rhodes championship. Of course, that's very touching for Cody Rhodes. A very sensible topic, talking about his father. And Rollins lashed out at Roman Reigns, like literally, okay? He took like a whole 5 minutes just to explain how Roman Reigns is not deserving of his place, that he's not a true champion, whatever. Like, absolutely decimating him. That was evil, honestly, pure evil. And yeah, and as Seth Rollins went on, the whole crowd, everybody at home, and even Cody himself, everybody started to understand that Rhodes versus Rollins at Mania could actually make sense. It would be one heck of a match. We've seen it happen. Their match at WrestleMania 38, their Hell in a Cell match, it was a very, very big match. We know that these two can go on for 30 minutes and make it a 5-star match. So we just got to find out what Cody says. He said that he would be thinking about it, but nothing official. So we might get to see Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and this solves a lot of problems, and let me explain why. In my first podcast, I talked about The Rock coming back to WWE. He came back on Monday Night Raw, interrupted Jinder Mahal, and hinted that he would possibly be going after Roman Reigns for his championship. Of course, Roman Reigns versus The Rock is a WrestleMania-worthy match. Okay, that's not even the question here. The problem was that there were also a lot of rumors of Cody Rhodes going after Roman Reigns for his championship. But you can have both, and you can't necessarily make a triple threat match because it's not working together. The storyline between Reigns and Rock is completely different from the storyline between Reigns and Cody. It's two completely different stories, and you can't just mix them up together. It's just too weird. Doesn't work. So, by having Cody Rhodes face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, that means that The Rock can face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It solves your problem. Cody Rhodes has his main event match. He can win the championship. The Rock versus Roman Reigns happens. It's a big money match. Sells a lot. And, you don't have to have Cody not compete at WrestleMania. You don't take away Cody's spot. His Royal Rumble victory still means something. But you also get your big money match with Reigns and Rock. And I'm actually all for it, It's a match that sells a lot more. Both main events are huge, and it solves a problem because Cody Rhodes, not Cody Rhodes, sorry, CM Punk was the one who was meant to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. But now that he's injured, someone has to take his place. Cody Rhodes, Cody Rhodes is a very solid pick. It just solves a lot of problems. It gives everybody a solid match. You have two very big main events. Cody Rhodes can win the championship, finish his story. Then you do whatever you want between Reigns and Rock. At this point, I don't even understand what they want to do with Reigns. I don't know if they want him to lose the title or keep it for another 10 years. I'm very confused, but it's okay. But yeah, I feel like it would be a great idea. They could go down this path. Solves a lot of issues. Once again, I've said it so many times, but it's a good thing. We'll get more info soon on whoever Cody Rhodes challenges. We'll know which title he goes after. But I think the Rhodes versus Rollins match is a very solid option, and creates a lot of opportunities in the future. And you already have a very stacked main event roster on SmackDown, so you don't necessarily have to bring Cody Rhodes over there to enhance it. Next up, that was only the second point on my list. Okay, we have like 10 more to go. It's gonna be a great episode, so stay tuned. Andrade, ladies and gentlemen, if you know me a little, I'm a huge fan of Andrade. I spoke a little bit about him. I'm a diehard fan of Andrade, and he returned in the Royal Rumble, entering at the number 4 spot. Unfortunately, didn't do much in the Royal Rumble match itself, but the pop for him was very, very good. A lot of great reactions, and I'm very excited to see what they do with him. He actually signed to Monday Night Raw last night. Okay, there was a segment with him backstage and Adam Pearce where he signed a contract with Monday Night Raw, which means that Andrade is officially the newest superstar on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'm just so excited. Okay, I've always loved Andrade. They didn't use him properly in AEW, but he's finally back in WWE. There's a lot of potential for him, and maybe he could be the next in line to challenge Gunther. Because Gunther's defeated a lot of people so far, and you need to figure out. Sorry, just placing myself. You gotta figure out who's next in line. Who do you bring after Gunther? You need someone credible, of course. If on top of it, if it's a match at WrestleMania, you need a credible opponent for Gunther, and I think Andrade does the job perfectly. He improved a lot in AEW. He's a way much more believable superstar. Very good in the ring. He has a presence like no one else. So, I don't know. Do you guys want to see Andrade versus Gunther? Tell me in the comments. Okay, pause the video right now. Tell me what you think, and I'll be reacting. I'll be responding to you. We can have a back and forth discussion. I'm all for it. But yeah, so glad Andrade is back. I'm really hyped to see what happens for him in the future. Next up, you may have heard all the rumors and all the talks. I don't want to go too deeply into it. Okay, it's not my kind of subject. But the whole allegations surrounding Vince McMahon and Jordan Laurinaitis. And if you've heard a bit more about it, you know that Brock Lesnar's name has come out a bit more. Okay, if you want more information on it, you can go check it out online. But I don't want to be talking about this for the whole podcast because I could literally make an entire podcast about this. But yeah, a lot of allegations surrounding Mr. McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and apparently involving Brock Lesnar. It's not confirmed, okay? But Brock Lesnar would apparently be involved in all this mess. And he was scheduled to be at the Royal Rumble, and because of those allegations, they didn't want any backlash or whatever, so they pulled him out of the match. So that meant that Brock Lesnar wasn't going to be in the match, and they needed to find a replacement. And that replacement, ladies and gentlemen, was Braun Breaker. If you've seen the match, you know it. Braun Breaker came into the match. He got 4 eliminations, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Braun Breaker got 4 eliminations exactly. Eliminated a lot of big names. Eliminated Ivar. Eliminated Omos. Okay, that is very solid. He eliminated Finn Balor and eliminated Jimmy Uso. Okay. So that's a big push for Braun Breaker, and apparently the entire script that was ready for Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble match was given to Braun Breaker. Okay? Like, Brock Lesnar was scheduled to eliminate Ivar, Jimmy Uso, Omos, and I don't know who else, I forgot. But yeah, so the whole script was given to him. An interesting thing about this is that Braun Breaker was eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. So that means that in that match, if Brock Lesnar was actually in the Royal Rumble match, he would have been eliminated by Dominic Mysterio. And recent rumors got out about a possible match between Brock Lesnar and Dominic Mysterio at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, premium live event. That is, I don't even know what to think about that, okay? I'm a huge fan of Dominic Mysterio, but against Brock Lesnar, he would have gotten destroyed. So it's interesting to see, I'm curious what would have happened actually, which angle they would have taken for this. It's obviously a big push for Dominic Mysterio. But that's not the road they're going down, obviously, and it's completely okay. Got to figure out the whole situation before, see what's true, what's not, etc. I don't want to talk about it too much once again. But yeah, it's just interesting to learn, the base plans. Whenever the plans change in WWE, it's interesting to know what the original plans were and how that impacted the rest of the match or whatever. It's very interesting. And talking once again about Braun Breaker, he is set to possibly go for SmackDown, to sign with SmackDown, as when Adam Pearce signed Andrade on Monday Night Raw, Nick Aldis came in. Nick Aldis, general manager of Friday Night SmackDown. He came in to talk and said he was very disappointed because he would have given Andrade a very good offer to join them on SmackDown. And then, as both men were talking, Nick Aldis received a call, and he said, "I'm sorry, I gotta answer this call. Braun Breaker." It's not necessarily official, but we would possibly see Braun Breaker finally make his main roster debut and going to Friday Night SmackDown, which I think is a very good idea. They could even push him to go for the United States Championship. He's very talented, very impressive in a Royal Rumble match. Just have to see what they do with him so far. Next up, another surprise return at the Royal Rumble. It was at the beginning of the night. Entered number 2 in the Women's Royal Rumble match. It was none other than Naomi. She had been rumored to return to WWE for a while. Okay, same thing as Andrade. I think I talked about Naomi in my first episode. Yeah, in my first episode, I talked about Naomi possibly returning to WWE, and she did. Okay, she returned in the Royal Rumble match. Had a great show, an incredible pop for her, which is very cool. Yeah, it's very cool to see Naomi back. She's always been very talented and the crowd love her. I believe they'll be sending her to SmackDown, as the Monday Night Raw roster, at least the women's roster, is very stacked right now. They have a lot of big names. They have Rhea Ripley. They have Becky Lynch. They have Nia Jax. I think Bianca Belair is also on Raw. Jade Cargill probably going to Raw as well. They have a lot of big names right now. So it just makes sense to send Naomi to SmackDown, and I think she could have a lot of great matches over there. Yeah, not too much to say about Naomi's return. Just very glad to see her back in the ring. Very cool. I'll be talking about this at the end of the podcast. It's our last point, but they mentioned her time in TNA. Okay, no problem with that. There was also I keep on forgetting her name. Give me a second. Jordynne Grace, who is the TNA Knockouts champion. And she entered the match. She entered at number 5. She was in the Women's Royal Rumble match. Entered with the championship. They mentioned that she was a TNA superstar. So it's looking like WWE and TNA have a healthy relationship, but we'll be talking about it at the end of the podcast. So stay tuned. Next up, another return. Women's Royal Rumble match. This time at number 30, and it's Liv Morgan. Now, the discussions on social media have been wild because a lot of people were mad because Liv Morgan didn't get the pop that she deserved. The thing is, the rumors I once again talked about in the podcast, there were a lot of rumors for AJ Lee returning at the Royal Rumble. You know, obviously, if she would have returned, it would have been at the number 30 spot. And everybody was expecting AJ Lee to be number 30. So when Liv Morgan's music hit, everybody was kind of in a 50-50 mood. Like, yay, Liv Morgan is back, but damn it, we're not getting AJ Lee back in WWE. Which is understandable, but it's created a lot of wars on social media because, you know, Liv Morgan deserved her pop, but she didn't really receive it and whatever. So let me know which side you're with, okay? Do you believe that she really deserved a bigger pop and that fans expecting AJ Lee constantly is not a good thing? Or do you understand the situation and you think that, you know, it's normal when there is a bigger name rumored? Okay. Same example. Number 30 spot in the Men's Royal Rumble match was Sami Zayn. Now, I love Sami Zayn, but I think everybody expected a bigger name, a bigger return for number 30. There were a lot of rumors, a lot of potential returns. Rey Mysterio was rumored. Sheamus was rumored. Big E was rumored. There were even rumors for MJF. Okay, the rumors for MJF have been going on for years now. But, you know, with so many of those rumors, having Sami Zayn number 30 kind of, you know, he didn't get an actual pop. But I think it's just normal at that point. Wrestling fans love to just speculate and imagine scenarios and whatever. But I still think Liv got a pretty good pop. I'm happy that she's back. But I have no clue, and I have not seen anything point to where she's going next. What is she doing next? But it's going to be interesting to see what they do with her. She's incredibly loved by the fans, one of the most popular female wrestlers. Just got to find out what's next for her. Okay, is she going to Raw or SmackDown? Who is she feuding with? Is she gonna get back in a tag team? Is she gonna go solo? Is she already gonna challenge for a world championship? Gotta find out. Next up, some other unfortunate news. As Kevin Owens was apparently injured during his match, not during his match, he was injured before his match with Logan Paul. I'm just confirming the news as I'm talking to you guys right now. But yeah, the match between Kevin Owens and Logan Paul was very solid, very good match. I suggest you watch it if you haven't. But yeah, they put on a very good match, but apparently Kevin Owens was injured. Maybe this gives more explanation as to why he actually lost the match. But it's still very unfortunate to see that he will be out of action. We don't know for how long. Okay, that's why I'm trying to figure out to find out the news. I can't seem to find news about Kevin Owens, but I'd like to know, like how long he's gonna be gone. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know honestly. But you can expect Kevin Owens to be out for a while. Hence why the title is still on Logan Paul. So they'll have to figure out what they do with Logan Paul next. Are they going to decide to push Braun Breaker as soon as he signs, and send him after Logan Paul? Are they going to decide to push Carmelo Hayes? They have a lot of names currently that they can push for a shot at the United States Championship. What I'd like to see, honestly, would be a ladder match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. You put in Logan Paul, you can put in Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Austin Theory, Santos Escobar. I forget names, but an 8-man ladder match. What always, we've seen it happen at WrestleMania so many times, the infamous ladder match. Why not do it again? Put the United States Championship on the line, and it makes it so you can put a lot of your big names on the card. Recent rumors I have seen suggest that next up for Logan Paul would be LA Knight. It would be interesting. Okay, both incredibly talented on the mic. They have very opposite personalities that combine with one another. The promos are going to be wild. I'm not sure about the match. I'll have to wait and see the match. But, it's probably a very good option. You still want to give some stuff to LA Knight. Probably even give him the United States Championship. He deserves it. He's done a very great job in 2023. So, yeah. Who do you think is next in line for Logan Paul? Let me know. Next up on our list, Bayley won the Women's Royal Rumble match. Now, it was rumored for a while. If you've seen my predictions that I posted on my community tab, I picked Bayley to win the Women's Royal Rumble match. And now we just got to figure out who she goes after. We all know deep down that she's going after Io Sky, but it's never 100% certain. For now, it was looking like she was going to go after Rhea Ripley last night on Monday Night Raw. But as soon as she came in, not too long after, she was interrupted by Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley. And then Rhea Ripley was attacked by Nia Jax. Nia Jax completely destroying Rhea Ripley. I've not seen Rhea Ripley get that beaten up ever since she won the World Championship. Honestly, it's quite wild. And yeah, it means, and Nia Jax talked to Bayley and said, you can pick whoever you want at WrestleMania, but Rhea Ripley is not going to make it to WrestleMania, suggesting that a match between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax would possibly be happening at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event, which I'm for. I think Nia Jax has improved. She's looking way more solid, way better. And at Elimination Chamber, it's fine. Rhea Ripley can have a bigger match at WrestleMania, probably against Becky Lynch or Jade Cargill, one of the two. And then Bayley, chances are she's going to be challenging Io Sky at WrestleMania. She said that she would be making her official announcement on Friday Night SmackDown this Friday. So if you want to know who she picks, you can watch this Friday Night SmackDown. Next up, quite unfortunate news. I'm a bit sad about that. But R-Truth, our beloved R-Truth, honorary member of the Judgment Day, has been kicked out of the Judgment Day last night. A little context. Damon Priest and Finn Balor successfully defended the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships against DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. After they retained, Priest and Balor were joined by Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Little promo in the ring, talking about the Judgment Day, whatever. And then Priest invited Truth to the ring. R-Truth came out, incredible pop. Everybody loves him. I love him so much. I just want to give R-Truth a big hug. If I see him, I'm just gonna hug him. That's it. I don't want anything else in my life. But yeah, R-Truth came out to the ring, and then Damon Priest said that he respected Truth, blah blah blah, but he kept on being interrupted by Truth. Truth saying some random stuff that like Damon Priest was like his brother, his older brother, as R-Truth is older than Damon Priest. He said that Finn Balor was that weird uncle that you still loved. He said nothing about Dominic Mysterio because people were booing, and he said that JD McDonough is that stepbrother that you don't even know if he's in the family or whatever. He's very funny. And then Damon Priest said, "Let me talk. I have a lot of respect for you, Truth, but I don't want to be the one to say this." And then all of a sudden, he got blasted in the back by JD McDonough, and R-Truth just got beaten up by all 4 members of the Judgment Day, like vicious beatdown. So R-Truth is officially out of the Judgment Day. But then, as he was getting attacked by the whole of Judgment Day, the Miz's theme song hit, and he came out to the ring, sprinting down, jumped at the Judgment Day. Of course, there were 4, and he was alone, so he got destroyed once again. But it's good to see that Miz and R-Truth are helping each other. And I like where this is going because there aren't many people that can challenge the Judgment Day at this moment for the tag team titles. But they're possibly setting up the Miz and R-Truth taking on Damon Priest and Finn Balor either at Elimination Chamber or at WrestleMania, whatever. It depends on what the plan is. But I'm very interested by this. I think Miz and R-Truth are an incredible tag team. I think I talked about them in like my first episode. Or my second. I don't even know which one I talked about it. But I talked about it in the first episode. I talked about R-Truth and The Miz, how much I love them. And I think it would be great to see them team up again and possibly even win the tag team championships. Like, it's been a while since The Miz hasn't won a championship. Same thing for R-Truth, if you don't count the 24/7 championship, you know. That title gives me a headache. But yeah, so I just hope they officially come back together and then they challenge the Judgment Day. It's a very good story, and even give them the titles, I would be so happy for them. Those 2 guys are workhorses. They've been there. They've been beaten up so much. They've done so much for the company. They deserve at least one more title run. And, you know, with the Judgment Day losing the championships, you can eventually go down the road of the whole Judgment Day separation. So yeah, it's unfortunate that Truth is out of the Judgment Day. He was very funny at the Royal Rumble. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Find a way to see it. But first of all, he entered in the women's Royal Rumble match because he had drawn the number 24. So when number 24 in the women's Royal Rumble arrived, R-Truth came out. He appeared in the Royal Rumble, which is hilarious. Then when he appeared in the men's Rumble, JD McDonough was on the outside. He threw McDonough in the ring, who immediately got eliminated. McDonough lasted 3 seconds because of Truth. Then Truth got on the ring, but he got on the side of the ring. And he held the rope and put his hand out so that Dominic Mysterio could come and tag him in, which he did. Okay, huge respect for to Dom for that. Dom tagged R-Truth in. R-Truth came into the ring, started attacking. It's so funny. R-Truth, infinite respect for him. He deserves all of fame just for how funny he is, honestly. But yeah, that's it about R-Truth. Next up on our list, I mentioned her name at least once so far, and it's none other than Jade Cargill. I'm a huge fan of Jade Cargill. I liked her work in AEW. I think she's going to be a very big star in WWE. In my opinion, from what I've seen, okay, it's arguable. But out of the 60 entrants in both Royal Rumble matches, I think she had one of the biggest, if not the biggest pop. Like, people were really cheering her on. It was huge, honestly. She came in at number 28. She had a decent show. I want to see how many people she eliminated. She eliminated 3 people. She eliminated Naomi. She eliminated Nia Jax, which is very huge. And she eliminated, I don't know who. Eliminated Becky Lynch. So, You know, huge respect to Cargill. They've pushed her a lot. The pop for her was insane. Like, she had never competed in a WWE match before, and the crowd cheered her on like no one else. So I was so happy to see her. It was very cool. So yeah, now we just gotta figure out what they do with Jade Cargill, because it's looking like Bayley is going after Io Sky at WrestleMania, and it's looking like Rhea Ripley is fighting Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So now I see two possible options for Jade Cargill. Either they make it a triple threat match, so Rhea Ripley defends her Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch and Jade Cargill, or they set up a match between Jade Cargill and Nia Jax. Or even they set up a match between Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. When their face-off happened in a Royal Rumble match, everybody cheered. So, you know, but you gotta find her a match at WrestleMania, that is for sure, okay? She is very big at the moment. You gotta prove that she's worthy of a championship run. And by giving her a match at WrestleMania, you just assure that. And you make it so that by the end of the year, she can have one of the two women's championships on her shoulder, and no one would complain. Okay, I expect they do great with her. A lot of potential for her. Just gotta book her right. That's the only thing. Next up, okay, some fun news about Pat McAfee. Okay, if you've seen the Royal Rumble, it started once again with Pat McAfee returning and getting on commentary with Corey Graves and Michael Cole joining them for the show. Everybody loves Pat McAfee, very good at commentary. And he also did this on Monday Night Raw last night. Okay, the show started and Pat McAfee arrived. And Michael Cole then announced that your official new team, commentary team for Monday Night Raw would be Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, which I am all for. Okay, if you're questioning this decision or you don't understand why, it's because Kevin Patrick, who was commentator on SmackDown, was recently fired by the WWE, and they had to find him a replacement. So Michael Cole took the spot for the moment, but I don't think Michael Cole wants to be on both Raw and SmackDown. So from what it looks like, you're gonna have Michael Cole and Pat McAfee as the commentary team on Monday Night Raw, and you're gonna have Wade Barrett and Corey Graves as the commentary team on Friday Night SmackDown. Everybody's happy. All four of them are incredible commentators. McAfee and Cole work very well together. Graves and Barrett can work very well together as well. So it's very interesting to see, and I'm all for it, honestly. So yeah, it's not that much of a big news, but it's just very cool. I love Pat McAfee, honestly, so entertaining, and I'm glad he's back on Monday Night Raw. Going to do an incredible job at commentary, and then for the premium live events, we're gonna get to have Michael Cole, Corey Graves, and Pat McAfee, and with a small rivalry between Graves and McAfee, it's very good. They did an incredible job at the Rumble. It was those three. So I'm just all for it. Not gonna complain. And finally, okay, we're 33 minutes in. I thought it would be way longer, but we did a pretty solid job. It's about WWE and TNA. I've mentioned it a bit before. But yeah, WWE and TNA seem to have a very healthy relationship at the moment. When Naomi came back, they mentioned her past time in TNA. TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace also came into the match. They talked about her championship. They showed her championship. So yeah, that means that it possibly opens the door for future TNA superstars to appear in WWE, which is very interesting because also have a lot of familiar names on TNA. One of the big ones being Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler. Okay, that doesn't mean that Dolph Ziggler is coming back to WWE. But that just means that he could appear once in a while, make an appearance, and that's very good. Like AEW have a good relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, while WWE have a good relationship with TNA. It's very cool to see this, and it brings so many new storylines, a lot of opportunities. They could trade some superstars. They could, So yeah, not too much to say about this. It's just very cool to see the possible partnership between WWE and TNA, that infamous Forbidden Door. Yeah, a lot of crossovers, a lot of potential surprises we could get to see. You could see some one-off matches, like a big name from TNA coming to challenge someone in WWE for like an event in Saudi Arabia or something like this. So yeah, and let's say WWE need a replacement in the match, they can call up someone from TNA. It's just very cool. We get to see new faces, diversity. It's promotion for TNA. It's also promotion for WWE. Everybody wins in the end. The fans are happy. So yeah, I'm all for it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that closes out the 5th episode of the Villain Arc. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like the video, you subscribe. It's free, okay? Takes up 5 seconds of your time, but it helps me out so much. Comment, okay? I've asked a lot of questions. Do you think Andrade should fight Gunther? Which brand do you think Naomi is going to? What is Liv Morgan going to do? Is Cody Rhodes actually going to challenge Seth Rollins? A lot of stuff to talk about, and I love having discussions with fans. I've done it in the past. I do it again, and I'll keep on doing it. So yeah, just comment. What do you think? I'll be talking with you guys. We can interact. I have no problem with this. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Also, this podcast is available on Spotify, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.